Hari Om, and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Purna Yoga Darshana contemplation. Right now, we have completed up to Shloka 5.7. We are framing different questions based on Prabhuji's talks and on the shlokas. Today, we'll be taking up 5.8 and 5.9. So 5.8 and 5.9 together essentially establish that I am not the doer, is the thinking that a karma yogi has, even when they are involved in touching, smelling, which are nothing but when they are receiving any input, or even when they are doing some action, excreting, grasping. So even when any information is coming to them from the world, or when they are doing something through their action organs, both times they are very clear about I am not the doer. And they only see that it's the material senses that are moving amongst their objects. So this is the viewpoint Shri Krishna has given, the truth Shri Krishna has given. And the first question that has come, very nice question, very important question, is okay, if I'm doing something as I'm not the doer, then who should take the responsibility for my actions? How do we even conduct then transactions of the society? If you attended this year's Guru Purnima, you would have seen there was a small drama act. It was called as Govinda Govinda. So there is a thief. He has stolen something and he has come to the court and is arguing that Bhagavadgita says Sri Krishna is the doer. I'm not the doer. I didn't steal. So it's like that. So who should take the responsibility? So if you want, you can take that question as well as the other two questions together or one by one. I leave the choice to you when you're contemplating. You need to establish clearly what is karma indriya, what is jnana indriya, what is indriya in the first place, and what does it mean to say I am not the doer, and what does Krishna mean when he says the sense organs are moving in amongst their material objects. What does he mean by that? So once when you establish that, that will to a large extent address these two questions. And then this is a slightly different dimension to the same truth. So therefore we can take it up as a separate one. Who would like to begin? Krishnaji, would you like to start?
I would like to listen and then.
Listen and then. Okay, sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Smitaji?
Yeah, since I asked that question,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can answer, but I will try.
Yeah.
Because the confusion is in my mind that if I am the doer, sorry, I'm not the doer, then in worldly, while we do positive actions, now what is positive action is another question. But when we do positive action, then we do it with a samarpan bhava, that I am doing this, I am not focusing on the result. I am doing my work and I am doing it with there is not for any results, right? Not seeking anything, and I am not the doer. I am part of the overall scheme of things. So like I am example of a farmer who is sowing the seeds and he's doing it as a part of the whole thing. There is the contribution is from everybody, from sun to the earthworm. Every part is contributing to that plant to grow.
Yeah.
So I am not the doer. I am not the one. I cannot claim merit saying that because of me the plant grew, or because of me this happened. I am only a means to which it has happened, or through which it has happened. It has passed through this. But then, as a farmer, or as my own work, if I do not take care of, I do not put the right amount, or I deliberately go and chop off somebody's tree, if I am uh, doing one is carelessness, or by oversight, that you don't do something, and one is doing it deliberate action, or deliberate inaction. Then you are responsible for, you have broken the cycle of this process. That is how I see it. One is, if I am by not knowing, I may do something wrong. Say by when I walk every day, I so many millions of insects, or some prani may be getting crushed under my feet. And is that then, without my knowledge, or without my really knowing of it, I may have my car tire may have gone and hit some. So how do I, if human being starts thinking like that all the time, then how does one conduct themselves? Then you're always living in guilt, or always living in that bhava that, oh, nanninda eno tappaitu. So I don't know if I'm able to answer the question, and more question is coming in my mind.
Very good.
So how does how does one live without that? Because every action may also result in an inaction. Anything that I may do may have a downstream negative effect on somebody else. I will, as a teacher, I will reprimand the child for some mistake the child has done. You are doing it with good intention. But the child may develop a fear. A child may develop hatred for the teacher or the subject, or so how how much is how much of action is needed?
So it kind of, slowly, if you continue to think in that direction, it leads to stalemate. It is better not to do anything.
But that is not my philosophy.
But that is also not possible.
That is not possible. There is at least for me, in my this small story, which I believe in, it's like a army which is stuck in the desert without any water or anything. So the commander says, if I stay here, my men will surely die. Versus I move forward in which direction to go in a desert. Something may come, right? So you go with that. So he says, I know for sure if I stay back, my men will die. If I move in this direction, we still may die, but there may be chances that we may come across a village or an oasis, or some water body may come. So move forward. So is no action versus action or inaction. What do you do?
Correct. To do or not to do. That's the quandary.
Correct.
Super.
So, but by belief is the do.
To do.
Yes,
But,
by belief is always, there is a ray of hope.
But now Krishna is bringing a adakattari to do also. While doing, he is now bringing in, I'm not the doer, so then how do I take responsibility? And that is one dimension of your question. The other dimension that you're raising is, okay, so any action has subsequent, there's an outcome of that action and subsequent action. So it's a cycle where how do I
Correct.
know that it is led to the right outcomes?
And why I'm in so much of confusion is because this is my basis philosophy of anything that has come my way is always been bandide madana. ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. That has always been my way of life. Now this has added more confusion actually now whether that is the right way of doing.
Very nice, very nice. Good.
So I don't know if I've answered any ABC, but
it's okay. It's okay. The idea is not to rush into a answer. See the value of manana is not in I know the answer. It's in I am discovering. And discovery doesn't have a destination. Destination can be in the mind, oh, this is where I need to go. But while discovering, it may so happen that that may not be the right destination. So the affiliation is to discovery, not to the destination. So therefore, it's perfectly okay. Yeah, it's perfectly okay. As one contemplates, more questions seem to appear. That means that is the right contemplation. If I say I know the answer, then if mind becomes completely silent, then that is the right solution, whatever that has been found. If not, then discovery is the right affiliation. So don't be worried or anxious about it.
So if I say I am not, if I am believing that I am not the doer, however, I am a contributor to the whole. And to the extent that I am the contributor, I have a responsibility to deliver whatever I am doing with utmost devotion and carefulness, and within, if I'm also talking about any worldly action, then with the legal bound of the transaction, legal boundaries of that transaction, or the moral boundaries of the transaction. Is that the right way of looking at it?
Sure. Yeah. I think let's just focus on question A.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's listen, and then let's also continue to deepen that contemplation. Anything more you would like to bring up, Smitaji?
No, my response to my question is that if I am not the doer, however, I am playing a small part in the whole, and to that extent, I have to
I have to take responsibility.
I have to take responsibility, and work by the worldly bound conditions of what is needed for meeting that or owning that responsibility. It's to that extent that ownership is there to that action. I cannot shy away from saying that I am not the doer, and hence, I say that okay, everything is okay. I can go hit another car, and say I am not the doer. Somebody made me, God made me do it. That cannot be the approach. I am a contributor to it.
I'm not the only one because of whom it is happening, but I'm a contributor is the viewpoint you're bringing. So therefore, I have to take responsibility is what you're saying.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So let's keep that viewpoint on the board. So the board, the literal board is I am a contributor, not the only doer. If I come to this conclusion, it seems to be resolving the question A. Then, I take responsibility for whatever little I did. This much I did, so therefore, the rest I don't know. Like in office happens, no? A particular piece of work is done by 3 or 4 people. And ultimately, who's responsible? Everybody says, I did this much. The other thing I don't know. I did my development correctly. It's a tester who did not test it properly. Tester says, oh, no, I tested it properly. The deployment person did not deploy it properly. Deployment
the best is they say it works in my laptop. I don't know how it doesn't.
It doesn't work in the other laptop.
When we give it to the customer.
Correct, correct. There's actually a funny story, in a way, reality that happened, portrayed in a very funny way. You may know that, around 1984, there was a huge bookstore called Gangaram's on the MG Road. At that time, it was supposed to be the largest bookstore in the whole of Southeast Asia. And Mr. Gangaram, on whom the bookstore was named, had become very popular. Everybody would come to him and ask him, "Oh, Mr. Gangaram, what a wonderful achievement!" And he was very proud, and he had given a lot of interviews. Unfortunately, some of you may know, the building Gangaram's collapsed, and many deaths happened. And now again, suddenly everybody came to Gangaram, and Gangaram said, "You know what? I was not at all involved in this building construction. I had assigned it to my son Atmaram, and he is the one. You please go and inquire with him." They went to inquire with Atmaram. He said, "I don't know. I just handed over the project to the project engineer." The project engineer said, I constructed the design, but I did not do the construction. It was my contractor." And the contractor said, "Oh, the material that was supplied was inferior." So, who supplied the material? So, like that, ultimately, once you start pointing, "Oh, it is the sand is inferior quality." Who made the sand? God made the sand. So, who's responsible? God is responsible. I am not responsible. Gangaram is not responsible. Atmaram is not responsible. Who is responsible? God. Why? He made all the material, such inferior quality material. So God is responsible. So, like that, there is a funny story. Who is responsible? Right? So, your viewpoint is, I'm a contributor, not the only doer. So, I have to take responsibility to my set of actions, is what you are saying. So, I have to be responsible for my actions. That's the viewpoint that Smitaji you are bringing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is nice. Now let us hear what Padmama has to say, whether she agrees with you, disagrees with you, or adds to you. Padmama?
Questions.
Yeah. The question, we are taking only this question, Amma.
Yeah.
If one functions with "I'm not the doer," who takes responsibility? How to even conduct the transactions of the society? So in this funny story, should be held Gangaram, Atmaram, engineer, the contractor, the supplier, or ultimately God, who has to be held responsible?
ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಡೂಯರ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಾನು ಅಹಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಅದು ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈ ಆದಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡೂಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್, ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈಡ್ ಇದು ಅಹಂ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ಬಂಧನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧ ಭಾವದಿಂದನೇ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಅದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಈ ಏನು ಜ್ಞಾನೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ಮೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಬಂಧಿಸಲ್ಲ. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಹಾಗಂತ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ತರ ಏನು? ಹೂ ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ? ಈಗ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು, ಈಗ ಈ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ನಾನು, ಈ ಕಥೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂ ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ?
ಅದು ಯಾರು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೋ ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿಂದ ಇದು ಆಗಿರೋದು ಅವರು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊರಿಸಿದಾರಷ್ಟೆ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಂತಹದ್ದು ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಡೂಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಹೇಳೋದು ಅವರು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಓಕೆ, ಅವರು ಅವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಸ್ಫುರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ದೇವರು ಅಂತ. ನನಗೇನೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ದೇವರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ನಾನು
ಬಂತು. ಆವಾಗ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕುಶಲತೆನೂ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ದಾರ್ಢ್ಯತೆನೂ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅವನು ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಯಿತು.
ಅಥವಾ ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮೀಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಸಂಗ್ರಹಾಲಯ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಬಂತು. ಅವರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಈ ವಿಚಾರ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್.
ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಬುಕ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಅದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಸರಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಎಡವಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅವರು ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಬುಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅಂತನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ತಾವು ಸ್ಮಿತಾಜಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್. ಈಗ ಈ ಚೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ, ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ರ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಯಾರಿಂದ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದ್ದು? ಗಂಗಾರಾಮಿಂದ.
ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ದ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮು ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ಇವ್ರ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು?
ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದನಾದ್ರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾರು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೇ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
ಹೌದು.
ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಯಾರೋ ಇಬ್ರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಗಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ತಗೋಣ. ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ ಅವನ ಮಗ ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮನ್ ಕರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ್, ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋ, ನನಗೆ ಆ ಆಸೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇದರಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇವಾಗ ಆ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೇಳೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಏನೋ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ,
ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಅದು ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಚೈನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇವಾಗ
ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ನನ್ನ ತಲೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬುಕ್ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂತು, ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಗೌರವ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿನಾ?
ಹೌದು. ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವನದು ಏನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೋ ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಹಾಗನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ್ ಅವನ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನೇನು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಇವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋದು ಇವ್ರೂ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ
ಹಾಗಂತ
ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ
ಅವರ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಇವನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮೊದಲು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಯಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ಆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ತಾವು ಇದೇ ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನ ಪುಷ್ಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟರ್, ನಾಟ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡೂವರ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್
ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಡೂಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ನನ್ನ ಅದೇ ಜ್ಞಾನೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ಮೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವನು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬಂಧನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅವನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ನಾನೇ ಅದೇ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನಂದಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಅವಾಗ.
ಸೊ ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳೋ ರೀತಿ ಇವಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್ ಅಂತ ತರಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ ತಪ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಪ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು, ಇಂಥದ್ದೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಂಥದ್ದೇ ಅನಾಹುತ ಸರ್ಕಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆಯ್ತು
ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯಾಕೋ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್, ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್
ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಲಾಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನೋ ಉಳಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವರು ಈ ಥರ ಅನಾಹುತವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೀಗೆ ಅನಾಹುತ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಈಗ ಯಾರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡೋರು? ಅವ್ರು ಫಲಾಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೋ ಫಲಾಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ನನಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನಿಟ್ಟು, ನನ್ನ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ನಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಹೆಸರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ ಸರಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಳಪೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೀಯಲ್ಲ.
ನಂಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇತ್ತು.
ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರ್ಬೋದು,
ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ
ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಬನ್ನಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಹೋಗೋ ದಾರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಎಡವ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ನೋವಾಯಿತು. ನಾನು ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಂಡ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿನೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನೀವು ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನೋಡದೆ ನಡೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ? ನಾನು ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನೋ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಆ ಕಡೆ ತಿರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ನೀವೀಗ ಎಡವ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ?
ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಜಾನೇ. ನಡೆಯೋರು
ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ನನಗೆ ವಾದ ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾಕಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣು ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ತಪ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು, ನಡೆಯೋರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕು.
ಅದನ್ನೇ ಗಂಗಾರಾಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ.
ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀನಿದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನೋ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ನೀವು ಎಡವಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ?
ನಾನು ಕರೆದಾಗ ನೀವು ಬರೀಲೇಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು.
ಹಾಂ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ಇದು ಉಲ್ಜಾವ ಲಾಜಿಕ್. ಏನು ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಡೂವರ್, ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಏನನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಈ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ಕು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಎಡವ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ ಪದ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಇನ್ನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ, ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಆದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಬಂದರೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
ಭಾಳ ಕೆಟ್ಟದು. ಅವಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಾಪ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಬಂದರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಏನು, ನಂಗೆ ತಲೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ.
ಇವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ತಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾ, ತಲೆ ಇರಬಾರ್ದಾ? ಆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರಬೇಕು.
ಅದೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟನೇ. ಇದ್ರು ಒಂಥರ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂಥರ ಕಷ್ಟ.
ಯಾವ ತಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಈ ತಲೆ ಯಾವ ತಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ತಲೆ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು? ಒಳ್ಳೆ ತಲೆ ಇದು. ನೈಸ್. ರಜಿತಾಜಿ, ವಾಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಶೇರ್?
Very interesting discussion, Vijayji. So here, if the person doesn't have the divine qualities, if the person's chitta shuddhi has not happened, then I think that ego will not be purified. So because of the impure ego, he will not be able to take the responsibilities because of the ignorance that he is the body, mind, and intellect. So this kartrutva, bhoktrutva will be with him. So I think these things happen because of the wrong understanding. Now I am able to imagine the skit that we have, that you people have performed, and Gayatri ji's son, Sri Ram, he was telling, yeah, I can imagine everything now. So this discussion is related to that. So the final thing is, because of the impure ego, and impurifications in the chitta, this ignorance has not gone out completely. Because of that, I think all these are happening. So when I take the responsibility of all my actions, then I think these actions, these kind of uh, things will not happen. So that is my view.
So, do you support what the statement that has come up here, or do you not support the statement that has come up here?
I am a contributor, not the only doer. Yes, that I am a contributor, that I am has to be very clear for us. If that I is becomes this body, mind, and intellect, then we will give us such irresponsible answers. So when that I is clear, so the here, yes, I would like to ask what is that I referring to, Vijay? It depends on that I. If I'm asked, if you are referring that I to this body or mind or intellect or the ego, jiva. If the I is a jiva, then the perspective will be different. If I is a body, then the answer will be different. So multiple choice question.
Okay. So if when somebody is saying I am a contributor as a body, okay, so somebody thinks I'm a body, I'm a 6 foot tall man, I'm a 5.5 foot woman, whatever, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So then are they a contributor?
Yes, they claim that, but from their point of view, from the jiva point of view, the jiva thinks that the jiva is this body. So, because the jiva thinks that this has happened because of this my body, I didn't go on time. That Gangaram's, that building thing, if you take an example, then if the person, if the engineer or whoever was responsible, if he thinks that I am a body, but I did my work, but I am not the responsible anta. If he thinks like that, from his perspective, if I am telling, once we think that we are a body, some whatever he's doing, whatever actions he's performing will be uh, he will own his all his actions. He'll be the owner of all his actions. So he can't claim that I am not the doer, because he has that root ajnana, the root knowledge that he is a body. Because of, when he claims that he is a body, because of that, he is the responsible for all his actions. But when he claims that he is Paramatma, he is not this body, mind, or intellect, then he is not responsible for all his actions. It is happening. So um, the engineer or the contractor, with what kind of knowledge they are operating matters a lot.
Okay, so Gangaram quotes Bhagavad Gita and says that I have realized this. I'm not responsible. Action just simply happened. I am not the one who did it.
ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂಚೂರು ನಾನು ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಖಂಡಿತ.
ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಸರಿ, ನೀನಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ತಾನೇ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
Correct. That is how that story goes, alva. In that in that story, the same, the thief argues, not the Guru Purnima story. There we did it slightly differently, but there's another story where the thief is like this, only arguing in front of a judge by quoting Bhagavad Gita. I didn't do it. everything happens by Prakriti. Prakritéhe kriyamanani gunai sarvani karmashaha. So like that, he quotes and he says, I am not responsible. Judge says, okay, I'm not putting you to jail. I'm not punishing you. I'm punishing the body that did that work. Like that, he gives the answer. That is what you're saying. But what I'm prompting Rajita ji is, in this particular case, she is saying that when someone is purified, then I'm not the doer is okay. When someone is not purified, I'm not the doer is not okay. That's what I'm hearing from Rajita ji. Correct, Rajita ji?
Yes. But okay or not okay depends on whether it is causing good to the society or whether it is causing harm to the Jagat Hitaya. So based on whether Jagat Hitaya or it is happening destruction. So based on that, it is okay or not okay will be decided, I think.
So, as an example, again to quote funny examples, if somebody opens a alcohol shop, initially people will be elated. No, those who drink, you can see that there are many people who say, yo, I'm so depressed, I'm so unhappy. At least for the duration when that alcohol is inside them, they seem to be happy, laughing, jumping. Whereas, somebody like Modi, when he bombs, some so-called terrorist places, there is destruction. So immediately in the way the action appears, in one action there seems to be people jumping up and down, happy, smiling. In another one, people are grieving, crying. Who's to decide that this is Jagaditaya or not?
It is decided by the jiva itself, Vijayji, because whatever actions we are performing will be stored. It will be stored, as you said, Chitragupta. That is our subconscious mind will be recording everything. So if I'm conscious, if I am conscious of all the actions that I am performing, then I think I will be clear. I'll have the clear knowledge. But we will not go about temporary pleasures. We will for the benefit of this over a larger crowd. We will we will try to perform our actions based on the it is like dharma from the point of view of an individual and dharma from the point of view of a larger society. So based on that, I think we can decide.
Smitaji, you want to say something?
Yeah, can I add something?
Yes, please.
So, hearing everybody, what I'm understanding is the intention behind doing the action. So your Gangaram story, Gangaram never said build a bad building or the intention was to do good. Does not necessarily absolve one from the responsibility as well. But in the same example you gave of Modi ji, or so the what is the intention behind it, or the larger good behind it, the larger intention behind it, is that not going to is that not also important to see when you are the action you are performing, and that is driven by your consciousness.
That's what Gangaram also says. The larger intention was to do good to the society. That's what even a alcohol shop owner says. I was so sad seeing people being sad, and I saw this chemical. Look, people are becoming very happy the moment they consume that chemical.
No, but the that is where I'm saying the intention is there. It should be driven by the consciousness that this chemical has long term poor benefits to the society, or long term it has negative benefits, negative or will cause issues. Similarly, the intention may have caused bombing, deaths, and all, but the consciousness is driven by the fact that I am eliminating terrorists, I am eliminating an organization or supporters of that. So the consciousness is driving the intention from that perspective is what I'm saying. So while bombing may look bad, it may look a fight war may seem bad in that context. I'm applying it in that context. The consciousness is driving that other part of it. Here it is not so. In the case of a liquor seller seeing his immediate benefits. He's seeing the profits in the business. He's saying I can make 1 is to 50 times. I can make money. He's seeing his intention is result oriented,
Maybe
not.
there is always limit of the knowledge. You may have never seen somebody going into emergency with liver problem. Maybe he's a very naive person, who has not read much, who has not seen much. But he sees that, the moment they consume that liquor, they feel happy. They seem to be happy. So he has observed only that much. So his window of observation, his knowledge is only framed by that much, informed by that much.
But so is everybody, no? I mean, we are all viewing, unless we have a guru or going showing us a direction, we are all seeing it from the window of my world, right? So, window view of my is my vision, right? So, in that sense, I'm like I said, the same example from my perspective. I'm seeing the road is clean, but I don't know how many while I'm walking, how many insects I may have stamped on. So, the intention
From
is
the
my intention
intention is
is
noble.
clear.
Intention
My
is noble for
intention,
even that. Sorry,
huh?
sorry. Yeah, you please
No,
complete.
but my intention is clear. Is that I'm walking on a clean place? I am not hitting anybody. I am not intently not putting my feet on somebody and stamping something.
That's what the
Like,
liquor seller also says. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know that, it can cause. Let's assume, after many, many years, he may come to know. But as of today, when he's taking the decision, it is, Amrutapana, right? That is how some of them name Madhuloka. Okay, so Amrutapana. So it is all, he has a window of knowledge which says that it is very good. It alleviates so many psychological issues. I'm doing good. Again, I'm just using a silly example just to
no, I
drive
get it.
home the discussion.
But I was more, even in the Gangaram case, or even a recent very tragic IPL gathering, nobody is taking the responsibility.
Yeah.
Anybody, I
Yeah,
mean,
everybody
saying,
is
can you?
intent on, our CM says, no, 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 I got an invitation from cricket board.
Somebody.
Cricket board says, no, 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 we had nothing to do IPL. IPL says, I don't. So like that, everybody.
Yeah, but see, even in the case of that, intent was to build a good building, intent was to do the right thing. But there is a worldly knowledge of certain things. The project engineer should know that the quality of sand to be used, the quality of the iron bar to be used, the standard that has to be there. That is why he is qualified. That is where I mean, when with the statement that you put there, if I am a contributor, I should take responsible for my action because I'm qualified for that action. I'm qualified to contribute.
Hmm. So, so now everybody is qualified to contribute in different ways. Maybe Atmaram negotiated so hard that, the engineer had no other choice but to take certain, detours. Or maybe, the contractor was so distraught with something happening in his personal life that he never paid attention to what the construction workers were doing.
But then he's not on the right side, right? The minute he has done that, that means he's not on the right side.
So it seems to be calling for not only recognition of what my action can do, but also a complete awareness when performing
Correct.
the action.
Yes. Because I remember, or rather, I read this. I mean, even in everybody asks, right? Karna is so good, so this thing. There is so much stories about him. Then why is he punished, right? Krishna says he knows Duryodhana's mistakes. He knows, but he keeps friendship above dharma. No, he keeps even Bhishma Pita keeps his vow to protect the throne above dharma. That is why they all suffered, or that's why they were punished.
Hmm.
So there is that is where that responsibility comes from the awareness of your action.
Very nice. Krishna ji, you have
And still,
anything
I
to
agree. Still I believe I am a contributor. If I am
contribute?
aware of my action, I am a contributor to it.
So,
Not by taking credit as a contribution, but
yeah.
responsibility as a contribution.
So the question that is not yet resolved is how I am not the doer. This is not possible, at least based on the way the discussion is emerging. All right. So, Krishna ji, you have anything to?
No, I will listen, but just one small word. I mean, my understanding is like uh, it's the I am which Saji was saying. So I'm not identified by this body and mind, but it's an instrument through which I'll be like performing uh, any actions with my full responsibility. Responsibility, I mean, what is uh, I'm looking like there is a mission, like there is a car which is running. I'm a, I'm driving it. So car knows how to spin the wheels and how to car knows means there are instruments being there, but I am the driver. I should know that capabilities and drive accordingly. Where to I mean, where to use, where to speed up, and where to put the brakes, and whatever comes which is I cannot control what is out of my limitations, right? Whatever is controllables, I should be able to control that with the uh, um, dharmic way. So that's how I would put it. So, but again, so it is not entirely the result is not entirely in my control, but whatever the actions I'm taking, I can take full responsibility out of that.
Hmm. All right. So it kind of, you are also in this segment, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a
similar.
contributor
Yes,
segment.
yes.
Yeah. So it is still not addressing how I am not the doer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just want to be conscious of the time. Is it okay to take another 10 minutes to 15 minutes? Or if we are running short of time, we can resume in the next session. Is it okay to continue for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So um, let's just look at this picture. It'll be easier to kind of understand. Okay. So when Krishna says, I am not the doer, we need to understand very clearly which I am Krishna is pointing to. So, through our discussion so far, we have known that when in the common conversation or in our social interactions, we use I am such and such, I did such and such, I went there, I did that, my name is, my father's name is, so on and so forth. When we are describing through all these statements, who are we pointing to? Who is that I in all those statements? As an example, if you were to write your life story, how would your life story look like? I am, and you will write your name, and you will say, I was born here, I went there, I studied here, this a particular situation happened, these are my parents, these are the places that I visited, these are the things that I like, these are the things that I don't like, these are the things that I am capable of doing, these are the things that I'm not capable of doing. So, like that, you will describe various aspects, right, in your life story. And in your life story, when you notice, there is broadly two things only. Broadly, only two things. In all those English statements, if you write your English story of life, there is a I and there is some activity happening. I went to Mysore. I ate masala dosa. I climbed Chamundi Hills. I met my friend. I discussed this matter. I signed this document. I slept. I woke up. I drove. Like that, when you notice all these statements, there is a I involved in some whatever situation. Masala dosa, climbing Chamundi Hills, driving, sleeping, talking, yada yada yada. So broadly, there is a I and there is some action happening. The fundamental confusion is who is this I is where all the catch is. The I in the beginning, before clarity of the Atmajnana, is who am I? I am a man. I am a woman. I am an Indian. I am a whatever. I am a Kannadiga. I am a Tamilian. So something that I have gathered is who I think I am. Meaning what? So when you were born, did you know you were a Tamilian? Did you know you are a Kannadiga? Did you know you are a man? Did you know you are a woman? Did you know you are good at singing? Did you know you are bad at running? None of that. As a little baby, something was there, and that had not yet gathered any of this information. What is that was there even as a small baby? Who is that was there even as a small baby? Only later on, you will say, I am growing. Why? Because you got connected to the idea that I am a body. Later on, you will say, I like masala dosa because you got connected to eating certain kind of food. Later on, you will say, I like wearing salwar kameez. I don't like pant and shirt. Why? You got connected to a culture of India of wearing the dress. Like that, lot of the things you're gathering and you're assimilating, digesting, and you are making it as me. Please notice, you should have been there to assimilate all of this. If someone has to say, I am, whatever the name, that I must be there. Whoever that I is must be there to say, now I call myself Krishna, Rama, Gopala, Govinda, whatever. So that some I must be there. Who is that I? Is the fundamental clarity that Sri Krishna gives. As you are that Atman, you are that unchanging. In that story of life that you wrote, I did that, I did this, I like this, I don't like this, I went there, I ate that, all that, something on the right hand side is constantly changing. Chamundi Betta, Masala Dosa, sleeping, talking, eating, running, driving, so on and so forth. But that I is not changing in that English. Which I is not changing? The confusion is this I. Oh, but this I is changing. But Sri Krishna is pointing to a far more deeper reality. Even when this seems to be changing, the body seems to be changing, there is something in you that seems to be saying, oh, look, this is me when I was 5 years old. Look, this is me when I was 15 years old. So there is some I which cannot be then changing. So when Sri Krishna says, I am not the doer, Sri Krishna is referring to that unchanging Atman, who is the true you. That awareness is not the doer. Atman is not the doer. That is the fundamental pointer by Sri Krishna. Meaning what? When I get connected to a changing I, meaning what? The body, the aspects of the body, or the mind, various aspects of the mind. That is a changing I, a role that you're taking. Are you a brother or a sister? Are you a wife or a husband? Are you an employee or an employer? Are you an Indian or a Pakistani? All these are temporary roles. Whenever the Atman is misunderstood as this temporary role, then that I is the Ahankara Vimudhatma. Aham Akara Vimudha Atma. 4 words. Ahankara Vimudha Atma. Aham Akara Vimudha Atma. Atman is superimposed as the role. Vimudate means superimposition, a confusion. Aham Akara. You know who I am? I am Gangaram. You know who I am? I am very rich. You know who I am? I am here to do something good for the society. A very noble person. You know who I am? So all that is aham akara, ahankara. What Sri Krishna is pointing is that aham akara, where is that aham akara? What is the reality of that aham akara? Is aham akara real? That is a fundamental question Sri Krishna is raising. Ahankara is a appearance. Are you wife or a sister? It appears and disappears. So what appears and disappears cannot be a reality, cannot be truth. It is necessary for transaction, but it is not reality, is not truth, is not unchanging. It is changing. Something that is, at one time you are a wife in front of some person, in another time you are a sister in some other person, you are a boss in front of some people, you are an employee in front of some other people. So it's a changing aspect of you. The changing aspect of you is ahankara. Assuming that the changing aspect is who I am is vimudate. Ahankara vimuda atma. I am truly Atman. I am that unchanging awareness who's witnessing all this change. I am the presence, and all these changes are appearing and disappearing in front of me. In my presence, this body has grown. In my presence, these thoughts are coming and going. At one point, I thought I did not know mathematics. At another point, I thought I understand mathematics. But who is this I? The mathematical ignorant I, ahankara. So the awareness that who I am lit both that ignorant, mathematical ignorant person and is lighting the one who claims to be now mathematically aware person also. But is awareness who I am truly? Am I either ignorant or knowledgeable? Neither. That I am, that reality is not the doer. So I have to recognize I am that which is ever present. I am not the doer. Means awareness is not doing. Doing means what? We have a notion of something changing, right? So awareness is not doing. Electricity is not doing the cooling. Electricity is not doing the motor running. Electricity simply powers the instrument, and the instrument, depending upon its design, its nature, does something. Electricity, when it is flowing through fridge, cools. Flowing through fan, rotates. So what is coming and going? So that ahankara is what is referred in this statement. I am a contributor. So the one who appears and disappears is a contributor. Correct. So therefore, from a purely a society viewpoint, transactional viewpoint, where the ultimate reality is, even if someone is being put into, let's say, death sentence, who is being killed? The body and the mind is being punished. But the real I, the witness, is not undergoing death. Therefore, somebody like who's enlightened enough has no problem offering their body in the service of something far greater. A Bhagat Singh, therefore, can whistle and go to gallows. Even when he's being given the choice, only if you sign this document, you will be relieved of all the things that you've committed and you will be given the pardon. But he is not saying that. He's saying that, look, fundamentally, when you are imposing your rule of the law, you're taking away my freedom to express life in the way it should be. The most often misunderstood fighting in the freedom fight is that, oh, freedom fight was about Britishers were foreigners and Indians did not want foreigners. No, that is not the right thinking. What is that foreigner was trying to do? Was trying to impose a way of life which was not in tandem with the way of life that had evolved out of the realization of the truth. A Abrahamic way of life is that my God, this is God, this is you. This is real, this is not real. Do this only, go there. That way of life stems from a fundamental ignorance. So the fight for freedom was actually fight for against the ignorant way of life. Not that, just because a Gora Chamdawala is your ruler, a brown Chamdawala is your ruler, now not that, your society is much better. No, society doesn't become better because of the Gora Chamda or the brown Chamda. Society becomes better because there is an enlightened ruler. There is an enlightened ruler. There is an enlightened leader. A leader who realizes the eternal flow of life. A leader who's willing to offer himself or herself for the sake of the nation. A leader who doesn't look for what is in it for me. A leader who is there for the sake of everyone's benefit. An enlightened leadership is what you need. So therefore, the fight for freedom was not fight for freedom against some people ruling me over some other people. It is about fundamentally a way of life that is it imposing or not imposing? In the traditional Yuddha that even Rama fought, he won Lanka, but he did not impose himself there. He let the people of Lanka live under the leadership of Vibhishana, and he said, I am moving away. So it is not about imposing my viewpoints, my way of life. It is removing ignorance. So the Swatantra Sangrama is about Swatantra, that I am liberated, and that liberated I expresses itself in millions of ways. So every religion, every viewpoint is a valid viewpoint as long as it doesn't create a conflict in the society. That is the Sanatana way of looking at life. So therefore, Sanatana way of looking at life can embrace somebody who doesn't believe in God, can embrace somebody who believes in God, can embrace somebody who treats a stone as a point of veneration, can treat somebody who builds a temple, and is perfectly okay for somebody who prays using some altar, somebody who prays within the heart. So Sanatana way of life, as long as you are not in conflict with the other, as long as you are not imposing this is the only way, as long as you are able to see the bigger reality, that is the true Swatantra Sangrama was about. Because a way of imposing a way of life is always going to be detrimental. That is what the Indian society, the enlightened fighters, rose up against. That enlightened understanding can lead Bhagat Singh to walk to the gallows whistling, because the death is not for me. Death is for this perishable item that is called body. So when this reality is instilled, when this is the clarity, then I am not the doer. But such an enlightened being is constantly engaged in the society, seen by an enlightened viewpoint as, look, they do so much. But the one who is doing has neither something to gain nor anything to lose. So as long as this inner reality is not yet established, that I am Atman, I am this pure awareness, and in my presence, there is a role now that is appearing, a role called wife, a role called husband, a role called employer, a role called employee. How well this role should be played, then the contributor contributes in the most amazing harmonious way. So realizing that I am not separate from you enables me to offer myself for the benefit of everyone. Is the enlightened viewpoint of great masters. They live their life. They offer their life for everyone. That is how a Ramakrishna, a Ramana Maharshi, a Sharda Amma, a Amritanandamayi Amma, a Prabhuji, a Modi ji, that is how they live their life. Why? There is nothing that the world can give that can make me any more better. Nothing that the world can take that will make me any lesser. I am full. I am complete. That leads to enlightened actions. Enlightened actions is what we call as Jagaditayacha. There is no more I who's claiming. But when you ask who ordered the Operation Sindoor, Modi will take responsibility. I ordered. I considered all the arguments, I ordered. But which I is he referring to? The role called Prime Minister. A role called Prime Minister has to take certain decisions in a certain context, and that Prime Minister role has to be played to the best possible extent of creating a harmony for all. So, therefore, as a role, he will still take responsibility. But deep within, I have nothing to do with my role. The role is just something that has been given to me for now. That's why Modi is okay to go and sit in the Singhasan, being called as the dictator. He is okay to be sitting on the floor, touching the feet of his mother. He has no problem because there is no association to the role. So that is how it, it is. It is clear that I'm a contributor. But am I truly that? No, I'm truly not that. But I have to contribute in the most meaningful way. That's the enlightened way. Why? Because there is no other. As a mother, you cannot see someone you call your child, see and go through suffering. So, as a mother, you will take steps. That's what a great master does. That's what an enlightened guru does. Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
Any questions? Anyone? Smita, something to say?
No, sir. Are you?
So finally, Vijayji, that Advaita Bhava, Advaita, if you have that kind of attitude and perform the actions, then all these problems will be resolved.
Yeah, in the Advaita, there is no doership naturally. Yeah. There is no other. When you are, let's say there's a something irritating, and when this finger goes and touches, I'm doing a great service. There is no such feeling. It is quite natural. It's just quite natural. See, the right finger never feels, oh, look, I'm doing so much of great service to the left hand.
Very nice.
You were to complete that, Gangaram or even that Govinda story. I have not watched the play. In the same context, then the statement holds true, right? Every
so an unenlightened person can use it in a wrong way. So therefore, like that judge, okay, I'm not punishing you, I'm only punishing your body. So that's what an enlightened judge will say. So the body has to go through karmic reactions. Body will go through karmic reactions. As long as you are associated as I am the body, you have a feeling I am going through disease. You are not going through disease. Body is going through disease. Even Krishna's body had to perish by the arrow.
Correct. So the belief that I am not the doer, the unchanging awareness and consciousness, but the actions performed by my senses, I have contributed, and hence the responsibility is there.
I have contributed means what? In the reality, I am simply a presence and a role called whatever the doer came up. And how well that doer's knowledge is. That is why When in ignorance, one may perform action detrimental, the opening of the wine shop. In awareness, can one truly open a wine shop in awareness, in complete awareness? Will I make my own child get addicted to alcohol? I will not. Why? Because I know the detrimental side effects of it. So therefore, when I am in awareness, when I see the picture, when I have no me and mine, then is when I will not be able to open a wine shop. I will open a Amruta shop called Satsanga. Does that clarify, Smitaji?
Yes, yes. So that is where, like, you give example of Modiji. It is the role. That role comes with bouquets and brickbats. I am accepting both.
Yeah, I have to. I cannot escape from that.
In the overall, his devotion and Jagat Hitaya, but it may come with both positive and negative. I will take what, I mean, it doesn't affect me.
It
I am the
doesn't.
unchanging, so it doesn't affect me.
Correct.
That is the thing.
Correct. When I am established in the awareness, I am the awareness, I will play the role to the best possible. You are a boss. Some people will come and praise your leadership. Some people will come and say, what a terrible leader you are. You cannot escape that.
Yes. But how you take it, or how you respond, or rather not respond to it, is more is the unchanging, is the consciousness.
So when you realize I am that unchanging, the bouquet or the brickbat is not for me, but for the role that I played. There's a wonderful little statement. A elephant was carrying Krishna in the Guruvayur procession. Everybody were throwing petals, flowers. Now the elephant became very happy. Oh, look at me. They are throwing petals. Is that what is happening? No. It is worthy of petals only because it is carrying Krishna. If it was in a forest somewhere and eating whatever the grass and poos, nobody would have thrown the petals. So it is that when you realize you are a carrier of Krishna, then there is no way, the petals are for you. The petals can be uh, bouquet or brickbat.
But then that acceptance is also there, that this brickbat or whatever, I mean, like the punishment or the legal course that is taken is also contributing to it, right? I may, like I
Absolutely.
said again, he
Absolutely.
may have the best of intentions, but
Yeah.
law may say, no, this you should not have
You shouldn't have
done
done it.
this.
Correct. Correct. You may have the best of intention to save a person, in an accident, and you may go and lift them up out of their car. But in that process, you may have actually killed. Why? Because you don't know internal bleeding. You're not a doctor. You have the best of intention to help, but you may have actually caused the death. That is where, like you all already said, right understanding has to be developed and right skill has to be developed. In a given situation, what action should I perform? That awareness has to be constantly developed.
So how I would just
In that
sorry to
accident, am I the doctor
keep pulling
or should I call a doctor? Should be developed.
Mhm. Yes, come.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Shall we then end our contemplation here for today?
No, sorry, one last question.
No. Please, please.
Sorry for others too. But my point that I told, right? If I'm walking and I don't see any insects, but in my own uh, I may be stamping on so many. How do I resolve that kind of conflict in my mind? And it could be in any situation.
See, that is why there is a wonderful little prayer. Whenever I am
Yes, I
performing
know.
an action, I may know, I may not know. Out of intention, or may not be out of no intention. I may have caused some harm. Now, I can only seek forgiveness. Beyond that, nothing else. And even if whatever I've done is a mistake and somebody wants to punish, I have to accept it. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you are taking a right turn. I was simply taking a left turn and I banged into you. No, I have to, if they say, I have to pay the penalty, and if it is my mistake as far as the law is concerned, then I have to accept it. Realizing that punishments or praises are only for this body and mind. The real I is simply the one in whose presence all of this is happening. I am neither being punished nor being insulted.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.